These ashen bonds take root within the body and the soul of the individual, taking form in infinite ways. Defined by the personality and the deeds of the bearer, they tie them to their family, their gods, and the dungeon itself. Spiked barbs of golden wreath, ornate silver lace patterns of spider silk, green solid bricks of color and fractal grids. The ash bond becomes as the wearer is truly, as a tattoo on one's skin, to wear oneself openly and decorate yourself with your grand deeds and titles, markings that tell your personal story, interwoven into the bond itself. Welcome, travelers, to the Dragonleaf, the TOs where tales are told. That's it. Did you expect more? That's metagaming. Bad listener. As you like the content, feel free to leave a like in the tip jar and subscribe to our weekly tales. Leave a comment in the suggestion box to let us know how well we did or how well we did not. Thanks for listening. And without further ado, it's time to open up shop. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Goodbye.
This is just one ethical dom to another. You need to work on your forcefulness with that.
I don't think so. I think people pay good for this particular tempo.
That's true. Everyone's
It's
a
just-
little different.
It's not in Adrian's prospects of career being a dom. He's just too sweet.
Yeah, the scenes where I have to be bad people are just like, I hate you. Everything about you is garbage. I'm sorry. Please. Don't feel
Just
bad.
Jaeger. That's Jaeger trying to be mean.
He's probably bad at it. Last time. Trusting Amir with handling Shiana, the party leaves the safe house as Amir breaks away from the group and returns to the group returns to the family home after allowing a tact to go through between the two of them, when they begin to undergo their own personal missions. An attempt to open up the secret study at the rear of the first floor of the manor. Elora, Vincent's mother, meets with Killian, and the group comes together and then separates. Lavos continues chasing a lead and investigating the missing people in relation to the cult of Zemayatel. Matilda and Killian visit Pom Pom to ask about any alchemists who might hire Dungeonborn in the city, and Jojo pays a visit to the Rift Hunters Guild to inquire about membership. Vincent takes to the outside of the city to chase a lead on a troll artisan who makes musical instruments, and meets with Prejudice at the Phoenix Roost Inn, west of the Emerald Gates of Amaranth. As the Deviants continue traversing the city, Vincent rides off into the western forests, and the camera pulls out as it tears through the city in the thick, dense ash that is now pouring from the torn sky above, the clouds moving in time-lapse above you, and zooms in on Matilda. Matilda and Killian, you have just left Fenn's Finders Keepers as you hear their unsettling voice bellowing out from the interior as the dwarvish customer begins to request just a simple salve. And as the doorway closes behind you, Matilda, it is your spotlight. What are you doing?
I'd like to do some timey-wimey baloney, and I want to go back and say that before Matilda left this morning, she would have been like, I paid for the shard / crumb / whatever it is. Please enjoy. And feed whatever's in my head /
Ooh.
whatever.
Okay. This is the spotlight you want to bring in?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you think it would be better to do it and say that we went back home to do this, because Matilda doesn't really have too much outside of the city unless Jojo and I are planning on studying later, but yeah.
I think that just depends on who would want to be present for this scene.
I know that Jojo wanted to see me eat it.
Jojo said she did not want to see it.
Oh,
She's very
sorry.
curious, but she did not want to see it.
Killian is easy either way. Killian wasn't really planning on doing too much today, or like with the rest of her day, so if you want someone to stand with you as you consume this magical item, then sure.
Okay, hold on. Matilda will turn to Killian and be like, do you want to watch me eat this shard?
Like, with your mouth?
I don't know. We'll see what they ask me to do.
Okay, I guess it might be best if someone's there in case something goes wrong.
Okay. I just had like a really major flashback to being like 12 and being like, want to see me eat this thing? But anyway, yeah, we go back to wherever we need to go. The house.
I think, Vincent, you pretty much left immediately in the morning anyhow. So in this instant, I think we cycle through. You find yourselves within the manor and attempting to catch into your patron. Go ahead and roll religion for me.
Oh, okay. Religion. Do. It's the skill that Matilda and I are not particularly good at. Doop. Not terrible. Oh, can I? Oh, never mind. I can't. I should have said it before.
You await this spark of the divine, and you hold yourself to this just idea that something is going to happen. You find yourself feel odd. You feel cold. The wind passes over you for a brief moment. The ash that falls around you heavily, miring the entire green interior of the manor into this kind of pale gray. And as you focus and you sit in, you don't hear a voice so much as you feel a compulsion. A desire to draw the symbol, but not here. You feel yourself being pulled from the manor to the south. As you feel this, the wind carrying you south past the manor, out through the mudroom, past the rear gates, all the way up to the stone wall and beyond it, bidding you to leave Old Town and leave the outer area of Amaranth itself. What do you do?
I follow it.
Killian. Matilda begins to move with purpose out of the area.
Oh,
You
okay.
follow?
Yeah, this whole time, like, Killian had taken a bunch of, like, table space and put down a bunch of papers so she could, like, try to, like, figure out how this works. Because all we knew from before was just like, oh, I ate it. And I was like, what? So as Matilda just kind of, like stands up, like, are her eyes, like, even open? Are they?
No, I like to think my eyes are shut. I'm just, like, following where they're telling me to go, like a tether.
Okay. Killian just kind of, like scoops up some of the papers and, like, starts writing down what's happening, and just, like, follows out. If we get to, like, the edge of the wall and she tries to, like, go elsewhere, I'm probably gonna, like, whistle for Bladebeak so that I can, like, ride along as she, like, wanders out of the area, but she's not gonna stop her.
Yeah, you just hear as it begins to move into place and begins to follow you just with these loud mechanical footsteps. You find your way out towards the outer southern exit of Amaranth through the Old Town gateway. Typically closed, a old kind of wooden trellis gate that is just closed down, iron banded, and the guards who are there seemingly just paying very little attention, looking over towards you and just looking back south towards the inn that's just beyond. They just wave their hand and you hear the gate just begin to raise up. Guards give you a nod and just go back about their business. Leaving the area, Matilda, you were driven south. Past the Firefly, and you continue out into this just outer area of Amaranth, mostly controlled by the Shantia family. It opens up into large swaths of farmland, and off in the distance, this just single sloping mountain peak. You feel yourself drawn towards that peak, but it's easily a few hours of travel. What do you do?
I, like, open my eyes in it for a second. It wants me to go up there. Do you think we could do that? It's gonna be a couple hours, I think.
I mean, I've got time.
All right.
Do you need a change of clothes?
Do we?
I don't know. I haven't climbed a mountain before. I mean, I'm sure the Bladebeak can make it. We can probably do it.
Yeah.
It's only a few hours. We've gone in the dungeon. We can climb a mountain.
Yes, let's do this. And I close my eyes and we commence the climb.
Killian, you feel like a stirring in your ash bond as you say those words with the utmost confidence. Or this shaking confidence. However you feel it within your heart of hearts. And looking around as you open your eyes and look towards the mountain peak, Matilda, almost feeling drawn towards it, your gaze turns off to the side slightly and you see a stable, conveniently placed only a few dozen feet away from where you had attempted to gaze at this mountain. If you wish to hire horses here, we'll cut the trip down a little bit, but it will cost a little bit of money.
It's fine. Matilda will do it.
You guys are looking at probably about 4 silver pieces each for the journey. Well, a riding horse does move faster than Bladebeak. How fast does Bladebeak move?
Bladebeak moves 40 feet, but is also
okay. You're good.
Can't be exhausted, so can just give her and can keep up with a nice riding pace.
Sweet. Moving at a gingerly pace alongside this, the riding horse with Matilda. Jumping on Bladebeak, you begin to move off into the area.
Do you think Matilda's ever ridden a horse before?
I don't know. Should we fate dice it?
Whether or not you've ridden a horse, I think it could go either way, whether or not you were taught to do this. So yeah, roll a what would this be? Yeah, just a straight D20 fate dice. That's that number. With a natural 20, you have been taught how to ride a horse. You are, and not even through that, the confidence that you feel and hold from it is almost emboldened by your ash bond as you get up on top of the creature, and you just feel this adventurous spirit. Riding into
Only
the
part
distance.
of the garden you liked.
What?
Only part of the garden you liked was horse riding day.
Yeah.
Secretly, Matilda's a 4-H girl.
Yeah. That's how I imagine the kindergarten being, is just like 4-H and Girl Guide and Boy Scouts, all that.
I just pictured Matilda picking one that most looks like a threshold, like a weird undead horse. Just like one that looks like no one would pick this horse. And Matilda's like, yes, I like this horse.
You're probably just like, I want that one. And they're like, that's a donkey. You're like, it's the weirdest looking one. As you take from this area and you traverse far to the southeast of Amaranth, you find the ash kind of lighten up as the storm dissipates into the distance. You find that cold drawing closer. And then as the cold begins to pour, you begin to feel wind cascading past you, but your clothing remains still. And Killian, you feel no such wind. As you reach the base of the mountain, you see a small shrine, just no more than a few stacked stones. And you feel compelled, almost like a command, to instill the symbol into the stones before you, and to bury beneath this small cairn the item.
I do it.
As you pull the stones apart, find just a little bit of soft soil and you tear it away. You find these just small bugs wriggling away, attempting to find solace once more in the earth beneath them. And you place the fragment within, shedding out this pale moonlight. You pack it down once more and place the cairn back upon it. Taking out the knife that you hold, you carve in the symbol of Zemayatel into the stone. And then this just whole feeling within you shifts and dissipates from a just from a soft pull and this cold wind. It just ends immediately and is replaced with a faint warmth. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
We see. I don't know if I want to fail or succeed this. That's the scary thing about it. Well, I failed.
You also feel an intense rage build into you. A name comes to mind. And not even, it seems to be driving this rage within you. You see an image flash in front of your face. Roll Arcana.
Can I guide myself? No.
In this instance, no, it wasn't premeditated. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
Okay. The image you see before you seems to be some kind of a small creature's spine, perhaps a large lizard, still yet with pieces of the body attached and grafted to the shoulder, or where the shoulder would be, are two wings seemingly pulled off of a small bird. With your knowledge of medicine, you ascertain this is some kind of like a sparrow's wings. And as you see this image flash into your mind, you feel hungry.
Oh.
And the name that comes to your thought that drives this rage within you is Giovannis. And I'll post that in chat.
Oh.
This anger begins to subside within you. And now you find yourself here. And your driving force that had once held you, bringing you in closer. The horses behind just trotting against the ground. You now find yourself here. The stones kind of just remain and tremble ever so slightly under the wind that now pours down from the top of the mountain and covers you both. And then all sense of drive leaves you.
I go to unbury the thing. Is it still there?
Still there.
Does it still work?
It still seems to be shedding moonlight.
I don't know if I'm supposed to leave this here, but I feel like I am.
Okay.
I'm gonna cover it up and leave it there. Don't tell Vincent that I left it here. Just say that I ate it, like the last one. Okay?
I'll just...
Or don't talk when he asks. Okay, there we go.
Don't know what's most suspicious. Killian just being like, no, nothing. Or Killian just being like, ugh, and running out of the room.
Matilda would be like, oh, it was very scary. It's lots of blood. Matilda does nick herself a little bit and traces the symbol of the whatever. Fuck, I'm so bad at names.
Matilda is.
Yeah, my
Matilda's
Fury's name. My Fury's name.
Oh, Zamayatel.
Yeah, Zamayatel. I do the cult symbol in blood because Matilda knows that there's always an exchange that's needed, and it's not that it necessarily will do anything. It's just how her family rolls. And she's like, "Okay, we can leave now.
Okay.
Let's go back home."
As the two of you mount your respective steeds and begin to leave this small stone chapel at the base of this lonely mountain, you begin to just ride off, and the camera remains sitting on the stones as you leave frame for a few moments before fading off into the distance. It moves over a tree, and as it passes by the tree, fading across, you see Vincent now in a western forest, moving about. Vincent, roll a wisdom saving throw. An unnatural fear begins to grip you. The trees themselves move from this just deciduous, fine and very soft tree. As the light begins to pour through the top canopy, you continue until eventually the trees grow spindly. and everything grows darker. The canopy above you gets dense, and the sound of birds and crickets, the small creatures that go bump in the dark, dare not tread here as they begin to move further and further in every direction but the one you are going.
And his head, Bo's just gonna be like, I'm gonna hear. Do you sense anything weird here?
I'm fucking leaving.
No, you're not.
Roll intimidation.
14.
14 is not bad, but it does not beat a 39. Mo says, I'm afraid I am. Please.
You're probably the safest you can be with me.
If I die, how are you going to summon me again?
Looking around the area, aside from just it seeming like fairy tale spooky, is there anything that seems like it would be just actually dangerous? Just gonna
Roll
insight
perception.
the Earth.
Insight the Earth sounds like a very good metal band name.
22.
As you glance around, searching for any sign of danger, all you hear is faint bits of tree branches almost rubbing against each other, faint cracks and the crunching of leaves beneath the feet of your horse, who is just kind of moving forward with this single-minded drive.
Mm.
And as you kind of try to stop the horse in order to look around and get a decent look, it doesn't stop. It just keeps moving forward at this slow pace. Glancing around, you see small wooden effigies in the shape of basic, like, humanoid forms, two arms splayed out coming down to a single point with animalistic skulls, and you almost see these like bone spurs that poke out and merge in small creature-like antlers. Various different skulls of, you see, mice and shrews and some feline-looking skulls that are tied into these wooden effigies, but all have these antlers almost imbued in the top. And as you continue moving forward, on top of this horse that seems to be currently driven in, what do you do?
Based on everything that's kind of going on, he's assuming these effigies are here for Mortor, whatever the god is
Motor?
in this area. Motor?
Feel free to actually roll Arcana on this.
3.
3. You're not sure what these effigies are meant to represent, but you are certain that they are here for Motor in one way or the other.
Okay. And this is the correct direction the dude sent us to go and see the troll, right?
This is.
Okay. He'll, in his mind, he'll just be like, you're still probably the safest next to me. I'll permit you to leave if you wish, but know that this doesn't really look good in my eyes.
You can roll one more. Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage.
So 16. Two ones.
16. I'm going to give him one more wisdom saving. Fine. You feel footsteps land on your shoulder, and that weight lifts until eventually you feel the weight of a rat kind of just clutched on, and you can feel it just shaking. The horse continues moving forward. And it continues to do so until the point where you see ahead of you, with your previous perception check, a stark drop and a cliff that leads into a rocky river below. And the horse does not seem to be stopping.
Can I try and go into its mind?
Interesting. In what spell?
He can telepathically speak to creatures now.
Most excellent. As the ash bond that ties you to this strange, otherworldly power that now seeps within you. You almost hear this faint, just wispy, wind-like sound. And then these faint, like, popping and crackling noises until eventually it fades away, and you feel this almost sixth sense touching into the mind of the creature. You do not hear words so much as you just feel this compulsion that the creature itself feels. Continues to move forward, almost in like a food is ahead, a mate is ahead, good things are ahead, and it just keeps trudging without a single thought.
Can Vincent try and interject some sort of loud noise to startle the creature so it stops? Snaps out of it? Out of like a screeching violin or something?
Roll a performance check. Or not performance in this case, it would be just a tool proficiency check. So, charisma with proficiency. I'll give the creature another saving throw. You just like, you play this just loud string as best you can, impersonating the sound within your own mind, and the creature just continues striding forward step by step. You're about 20 feet from the edge of the cliff now.
Yeah, he'll, we're not like galloping or anything. He'll just slide off the side.
You watch the horse continue moving on without you as you find yourself on the ground of this forest.
And he'll start to look around a bit. He knows there's something weird going on, but he's not gonna risk his life to save a horse.
After about 10-15 seconds, over the edge of the cliff, and you just hear and the river below. And roll perception for your general surroundings.
7 this time.
You do not see the creature. You do not hear the footsteps. All you feel is one large handprint on your shoulder, and the hot breath on the back of your neck. What do you do?
Is it this, when they put their hand on my shoulder, does it feel large?
It does.
I was looking for you. You are who I think you are. I wish to talk.
You can't talk here. This is too dangerous. It is. You are too small.
Then let's go somewhere else. Lead me.
Just leave the forest. Leave quickly.
He turns and begins to move.
Oh, is there like footsteps on the ground that I can see?
You glance backwards, and now you see the creature. You are amazed that you did not see it before, because it stands at about easily 12 to 15 feet tall. You see this just distorted face that comes down into a wide jaw, and these just like teeth that are protruding out of its mouth in odd angles, covered in moss as it looks down towards you. But you do see this just small belt with a series of fine tools that seem like they were fine 20 years ago and have been attempted to be meticulously like taken care of, but are just covered in rust. The wood carving tools down one side of this bandolier that looks like it once held weaponry, and a belt, and this just tiny little apron that looks like it was meant for a human and is stretched over this massive ogreous shape. But the creature looks towards you, one eye like half closed and caked over, and just
This way.
Vincent will follow.
roll perception.
$17.
You feel a gaze on your back across the river. You turn, almost drawn, and looking across, all you see is the faintest bit of a swoosh of the top bit of a tail that traverses down the side of a cliff towards the riverbank where the horse had fallen.
Not today. And he'll turn back around.
Following after this large creature, You begin to move through from effigy to effigy, one to the other, making zigzags through the forest, and eventually out towards this small grove. Still, like just terrifying gnarled trees around you, but most of which have been felled. You see various different stumps set aside that have all been split, as though being used as anvils for axes, the heft of which just tore them to pieces. And as you find just being drawn by this creature, he turns and he says,
Are you not afraid?
No, is there a reason to be?
No. But
Well, then
so
why would I
many
be
people
afraid?
are. Everyone is.
Well, a lot of people don't see the world the way I see it.
Broken eyes. Sorry.
he makes his way towards the home, where he just kind of like opens up the doorway very gingerly, just goes to press it open as though not to break it, and then just hobbles underneath the thin frame of this old home that looks like it once belonged to some kind of hag. Then eventually he comes out holding one of those effigies, and he hands it to you, and he says,
Go that way.
points out east, back towards the Emerald Gates.
Ungod, that is your name, right?
It is what people call me.
Well, I actually came here to talk with you, to see you. Vincent will do a little greeting, a little bow. I actually heard some tales of your talents, and I came out to see if you'd be willing to help me with something.
Talk.
Does he seem like he's having a hard time keeping up with Vincent's words, or is he
Yeah,
just stunned?
he's about halfway through your sentence, as far as you can tell. He's like, you're here to talk with him, and then you said you like want something, and you can see he's like working that out in his head, and he's like, and it's like 5 or 6 seconds more of silence before he realizes he told you to start talking, and then awaits your next sentence.
Do you mind showing me some of your work? And Vincent will pull a loot out. That was on his back.
He just reaches forward and grabs it. Massive hands. If you attempt to contest, you can.
No, he'll let him take it.
Grabs it, lifts it up, looks at it. I'm gonna roll a Constitution saving throw from.
Too weak.
Lets it go, and it just slams into the ground in pieces.
I guess it was.
Turns and goes into the home.
Vincent will kind of follow.
You enter in, you see this. Actually, you smell this home first. As you move in, you just the rot and the just dense, thick air just pours over you. And the floor itself, just made of moss and fungus, moves in, and he kind of reaches this one desk that is incredibly cared for. And he takes out one of these tiny little tools in his hands, and he just slams it into the top of the desk, where the top kind of pops up, and he throws it to the other side of the room and reaches into this small chest where he grabs it's very similar to the loot that you just had, but once again has this just very familiar bulbous shape in the bottom corner, and it rounds around to like a spiked point that you would not typically see in a loot, carries around, and just has a very odd shape to it. Something that is just not typical of any kind of instrument that you would see. The strings drawn across with long gaps in between, and the action between the strings and the fretboard distant. Very, very alien. Then he turns around and he says,
This one's strong.
and he goes to bend it, and you can hear it just like ting, 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 ting. Hands it back to you.
Make sound.
He's instructing me to play for him, right?
He just handed it to you, and he sits there awaiting whatever is going to happen next.
Vincent just looks it over. He'll gauge the frets and the string material as well as its thickness, and he'll individually pluck one and just kind of get their sounds in his head.
Horribly out of tune. Just boom, bim, boom.
Can you attempt to tune it?
Yeah, I mean, you're just capable of tuning it as you just begin to ding, 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 bing, boom, 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 bringing everything back into a point where he's just listening in as though, like, amazed at the thing that he made is making these sounds. And he's just like,
Not if you break it. Don't.
I'm improving it, dear. And once Vincent feels like it's in tune, he'll look towards the giant. Can I insight check just see his mood? What would he feel like he's in the mood for right now?
You may roll insight. With your proficiency in performance, you have advantage on this.
Not 20, 29.
You ascertain this creature has never really heard necessarily good music, but for some reason he was driven to create these musical instruments, which means he likes sound in general. The idea that as he is staring at you with these like glistening eyes, you picture honestly something like a sonata or something calming, something beautiful.
So he's not really interested in... Sorry, your statement kind of confused me because you said he's interested in noises. So I would think something complicated, but then you want me to do something calm?
That's basically what he seems like he's into right now.
Okay. Vincent will play somewhat of a calming tune just to kind of settle the whole like creepy atmosphere that's going on around here.
You hear still that just faint tree hollow passing through. But as you begin to play a nice, calm song over, you see the atmosphere kind of changes. And as he's listening into it, he just opens his eyes and watches. The theme begins to play in over the strange ambient noise around you, and the imp on your shoulder is like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" As it just shifts for a brief moment, wrapping around your back and changing from a rat into an imp invisible off to the corner of the room to get far away from this creature. Roll performance.
$16. It's still a new instrument.
16. You begin to play. He sits back. He's listening. It's very weird. You have to press really far down to get the action that you wanted, but as you do so, the creature looks towards you with just amazement.
He says, "This one next."
And then he stops you from playing and just brings out another instrument, longer, bigger, places it down in front of you and says, "Go."
No, as he goes to like interrupt Vincent, his tail's gonna whip up in front of him to like intercede between his hand. It's not polite to interrupt.
Roll persuasion.
Still a 16. I don't know why I keep rolling ones. It doesn't matter on this check, but but 17 now, actually.
He looks at his hand and begins to just lick it around, tongue kind of extending beyond the entire hand. And he looks back towards you and then just sits down on the table in the center of the room and just waits.
Vincent will finish this one up and then put the instrument on the counter. This is interesting. It's definitely a new noise. I like it. A little bit more tangy than a normal lute.
Now this one.
He places a bigger one, like a stand-up bass, in front of you.
Last one, okay? And
No.
Vincent will do the same. This is not how this is going to go, dear. I'm not
Stay
here to be
here.
your... Unfortunately, I cannot. I have that influence on people, dear, but... I can't.
Roll persuasion.
Ooh, very good.
You come back.
Yes, if you wish to work together.
This one next.
And he places down 3 or 4 musical instruments in a line in front of you, just
They're all new,
ignoring
like,
all of it.
Vincent's never seen these before, right?
They're all, I mean, they're vaguely reminiscent of instruments, which means that he has knowledge of instruments of the world, but they are all different and just strange in their shape and make. Distorted, not in a bad way, it's beautiful handcrafted work, but it's not what you would expect from, like, from anything that you've seen up until this point in your life.
Yeah, he's intrigued. It's been somewhat boring to play the same old instruments over and over again. He's interested to see what type of sounds these make. So he'll stay there for a couple hours playing.
And each one in its own way, this just unique and beautiful mishmash. When you prepare to leave and you receive like a teacher just disciplining a child who was previously just like, no, I'm going to do recess as long as I want. And then eventually just being put in their place, just being like, fine, I guess I'll go inside because I want to go inside. Is basically the motion of which this entire scenario unfolds. And he hands you that effigy again and he says,
This, when you come back, hold. It won't see you.
Thank you, Dea.
He has given you this lute. And he says,
You take that one. I make a stronger one next time.
And here, he'll don't be scared. This is me doing it. He's going to, using his telepathy, kind of send the trolls some of the 1,000-fold tone, but in a way that Vincent's been trying to manipulate it to make new noises. See if you can make something that makes these noises.
You do this?
Yes, that was me. But I would like it to be something everyone can hear.
he just turns around and makes his way into the home.
And he kind of looks out, because he rolls his eye, and now he doesn't have a horse, so it's a bit longer to get back.
You turn and you begin to walk through this terrifying forest until eventually you once again hear the sound of birdsong. And as the day comes to a close for all of you, I will say...
I just want to take one note. If Vincent had failed his was saving throw there, because I'm assuming he passed, he might have gone over the river. Not today.
All I could picture was kill a horse, save a cowboy.
Oh no!
Vincent.
Sitting there being like, it's just a horse, guys.
I
No
know,
horses
I know.
were harmed.
He's tempted to fucking get the horse, and he's like,
I know,
"Well,
it's okay. I was it was more for ha-has
Great.
in my head.
I'll say this: no horses were harmed by any kind of fall in this campaign. As you all
I find that hard to believe.
as you all in time make your way back towards wherever it is that you spend the evening this night.
I don't think JoJo got a thing this episode yet. Is that? Am I?
It's not
Thinking
one
of-
per. We were just going through the previous. Yours was the
Oh,
Rift
okay.
Hunters Guild. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Because we went basically one, finish scene, and then Vincent was still ongoing, so we went to the next,
Okay,
and then finish scene, go back. But as you guys prepare for your evening, you can work if you wish, or you can choose to do something else. Just not like hard RP scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
JoJo was gonna head to the library and do some studying. Is there private rooms in the library?
There are indeed.
Definitely grab the private room to keep her decrypting this ledger away from prying eyes, but also to keep away from people who might recognize her from the school.
Gonna roll stealth.
Yeah.
You could do a disguise
Alrighty.
self.
Ninja roll.
Oh, that's true. I do have disguise self. I don't think. Is she sort of purple? I think that she doesn't go in being stealthy. She doesn't want people to spy on her doing her work. I don't think she wants to particularly shy away. I think that JoJo would think that that is beneath her.
I will face my secrets head on.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
No, I will not roll stealth.
Excellent. Moving in, you are immediately met by the fawn librarian, who follows you aggressively and just repeatedly is just like, hey, so how are you? How's it going? What would you like? You want a private room? Excellent. I tell you what, I'll drop by every now and then if you need a drink.
Okay.
And then just
don't look at what I'm working on, okay?
no promises.
Or go into my head also.
Okay.
Or just don't tell anyone what you
Oh,
see.
that one I can do.
Okay,
and-
great.
As you begin to attempt to decrypt this, go ahead and roll investigation.
Investigation normal is 22.
Ooh,
Yay! That's much better.
Goodness. With a 22, you make quite a bit of progress in this. You get several pages in as you begin to decrypt it. So, first off, a bit of interest is that this ledger seems to contain a lot of information about some kind of expansion into Helianth.
Oh.
Go ahead and roll history for me.
Yeah, 16.
There is several cities within Aboria's central continent, but the Aborian Valley, which consists of the 3 tri-cities, is Dianthus, the imperial capital, Amaranth, the blooming city, of which you are somewhat familiar, and then there is Helianth, the city of the arts. Helianth to the north is a untapped gold mine of quite literal gold, but also just advancement in beautification, that of art and ideas, and just open sharing of everything. Helianth itself is it's a city of opportunity in comparison to the staunch rules of everywhere else surrounding Aboria. It very much takes in the chaotic nature of nature itself. And this ledger seems to be implying that there is a heavy amount of money being moved to Helianth for one reason or another. As of why, you're still not quite yet certain. And the ledger does not yet offer you any information into what Amir was hoping for, which was a direct, like, shipping routes, ship captains, hard information such as that.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I think Jojo sleeps at the Lavender Cafe this night. Since it's
Ron
across
is
the street.
ecstatic. You do not sleep. Yuka hits you. Just periodically, and then eventually falls asleep himself.
I'm gonna go to sleep. I have a test in the morning.
Wow, this is familiar. Bah! I didn't stop then. I won't stop now. But the rest of you. Jojo does not work. That is 2 silver, 5 copper. Killian, do you work this eve?
So I think Killian wants to work, but is having trouble focusing. Like she literally, like, she probably does wander over to her, like, little blacksmith shed and, like, you know, start, like, fuels up the fire and, like, everything like that, and, like, and then just kind of, like, just, like, turns it off immediately, locks up, and, like, just heads back to the family home. So she does not work. Her heart's not in it.
Alrighty. As you move through the city streets, making your way back towards the family home, that will be 1 silver and 5 copper. Matilda, do you work this evening?
I think Matilda goes to work, and then her boss is like, "Why the fuck have you been at work?" Well, they know why, but they're like, "We're so behind." So Matilda pulls a double shift.
Can't work twice, but you can.
No? Oh, okay.
No, it's just basically work day or not work day. But what you can do is roll that 1d20 modifier to see if you can make twice as much or half as much.
Nice.
If you want to gamble with your money.
Oh, bro. Come on, Matilda, do good.
17? 17's pretty good.
Yeah.
So 15 to 17. You made more money today, working your extra hours to catch up with your work. You have not fully caught up. But you have made a total of 1 gold and 6 silver.
Oh, cool.
And Vincent, when you return to the city, once again meeting with those guards who just question you about your business outside, eventually you make your way back in. Do you work this evening?
For sure, I head over to the Black Sheep. He wants a little bit of quality time with Rosa a bit, and then he'll do his normal routine.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll performance to see if you get any high-end clients this day.
21.
21, you managed to find one. You can go ahead and bring that up one. With the generous tips that seem to be pulled towards you from various people who look on towards your ash bonds, I want you to roll a fate dice.
Yeah, I was gonna. He's wearing some attire that kind of shows it off in a very elegant way, more so than usual. Fate die. Not 20.
Nat 20. You take note that actually Rosa's not here today, and Danella is handling the area. You also take note that there's a heavy amount of red rose in the general vicinity, protecting the interests of the location. You gain 8 gold pieces from your work.
Can I ask her? I know we're not supposed to do role play, but just ask her where Rosa is, or if she knows.
She just said that Rosa said she had some business and wasn't very clear about it, but she seemed very excited.
Okay.
And then, as you are, what was your fate dice roll? Natural 20. As you are, like, sitting in bed, your current client stands and begins to move towards the bathroom that is, like, attached to, and begins to draw a bath. They walk up to you and they ask you, "So what does Shadow Walker mean?"
Does he know what they're referring to?
No.
What do you mean, dear?
It's right here. And they run their finger along just the back of your neck down towards the base of your shoulder blades, which seems to be like it's a title.
Oh. What do you think it means?
I don't have any clue. I don't deign to know your secrets. But
with that, Vincent's going to subtle spell cast his unseen servant and have it like brush them from behind, like a shadow.
And as you just hear this faint like "ooh" sound come out from the corner of your room, the camera pulls away, and you have been granted the title of Shadow Walker.
Ooh. As
we all see this evening come to a close, and the early morning begins once again. You all meet up. Where? How? Why? When? Do you go to get some food at a local tavern? Do you meet up at a nice cafe? Do you go to the family home? What's the dilly?
I believe Jojo had her Rift Hunter test in the morning, so she probably would have gone there before going back to the family home.
Killian would want to talk to Vincent if he stayed at the family home, and so if he didn't, she would want to try to find him. Ideally, she would want to see if he shows up, so maybe she would wait around for the morning, and then if Vincent doesn't show up at the family home by then she would just head out to do her own thing.
You can also, you do know that if you wanted to, Lavos has the sending stone.
Yeah, I think she assumes that that's for like emergencies and doesn't want to use it for just for summoning people.
Vincent would show up. It would be because he rests during the morning, so it'd be near the end of the morning shift. So if you can wait that long, he would eventually show up.
Okay.
And Matilda, how do you arrive at the family home?
I would have been at home after work. I would have worked and then gone back home. I'd probably wake up in the morning, spend most of the morning talking to Stregonona, which is the name of my weird rabbit antlered thing. So we would have had a lovely morning conversation. And I would have been like, yeah, and I went and I did this thing, la la. Like Matilda frequently just talks to them like they're a person.
They sit in the back of a small area, just terrified. Like, they have a single unicorn horn that every now and then they just like stab into the side of the cage that holds them in place without them just aggressively attacking everything around them. And as you guys gather in the family home, we will begin with Jojo as you make your way across the city. This will be a series of rolls in order to see whether or not you pass. If you fail, you will need to pay 12 gold to attempt to take the test once more.
Okay.
Ooh.
As you begin your test, traversing across the city once again, that'll be another 4 gold for a carriage if you want. You can just take the jaunt via foot.
Yeah, I think she morning jog.
Gotcha. Making your way towards Savras's home. And you are somewhat tired by your jog, but your Ashbond giving you just swaths of exercise. No, that's not the word. Swaths of energy. Exercise. First, I need you to go ahead and roll an athletics check for me.
Is she able to do, like, we might be doing things today, huh? I'm wondering if she wants to use a rage to get an advantage on this. Yeah, I think I am. I will. She rages. Should I roll for Surge as well?
You do need to roll for Surge.
I'll do that first. Oh no, not magic awareness. What is bonus action? Where's my wild magic? There it is. Surge. It's when a creature attacks you, they take damage. Okay.
So this one, I believe you're like covered in this just warbling
Yeah,
energy.
it's like a blue warbling like bubble that's around her. It's like, actually, I think it's more of like she looks like she's just steaming this time. Like the blue is just like steams off of her. Your athletic advantage. Oh, double 17s again. I know it's always with the doubles. 23.
Let me go ahead and find this one sec. There we go. 23. As you begin to move through the obstacle course, already warmed up by your jog throughout the day, you find yourself in this they have this open courtyard at the front that they bring you to, and then they basically just have you push the central statue of the courtyard out of the way, revealing a stairs into a downstairs.
Ooh.
Traversing down the super secret pathway that everybody walks by and is just like, heh. Moving the statue out of the way, you descend down into this underground obstacle course that seems to have been carved out of the stone of the earth itself, like 120 feet below the ground. And as you move through, just like ducking underneath and moving through caves, eventually you find this just central pit that drops on you, and you have to sit there and push it up, holding it up as you scrape forward, moving hand by hand, crawling and just ducking, diving, climbing. Eventually you make your way to the other side, and successfully having completed the obstacle course. You see Max on the other side. His demeanor changed, hands crossed. He just gives a check on a piece of paper, gives you just this stern, coarse look. He's like, next. You are led from that like dark stone room foreboding, lit with just these small torches. Eventually you open up a wooden door and you find just a desk in the center of a very unnervingly large stone room. And as you sit down, there is a written comprehension test. Go ahead and roll. You need 3 rolls here. This will be Arcana, Investigation, and History.
At least I'm proficient in all of those. Ooh, good. That's a 22 Arcana. Do you want them in that order that you just said?
Yes, and the next one is Investigation, and then it'll be History.
Ooh,
22
another 22.
Investigation.
Please, number 3. Ah, shit. The last one, the history's only an 8.
History. Pouring through, the history obscure and strange. It doesn't tie into anything that you've seen, and the historical events that it pertains to are of wildly foreign countries that you've never even really, like, what is the third ruler of Anastasia's cousin's name? And you're just like, I don't know. I couldn't possibly
is that
know this.
Tiernan? I don't know. What the fuck is it?
They're just like, yeah, it is.
Oh, cool.
No, you were right on that. But as you finish your comprehension test, you see he just takes a look down. Max grabs the test, lifts it, folds it in 3, places it in his lapel, and says, next. Wordlessly.
No check mark for that one.
Don't ask questions. Makes his way back to the staircase, and you are lifted back up outside, where you are forced to bring the statue back. And you are brought forth to the front gate, where Max turns around, and he looks at you for a second, and he says, We'll let you know when your personality test is going to be, if you
Okay.
passed this one.
If you need to send word to me, send it to the Lavender Cafe, I guess.
It's a
Marble
nice name.
Flakes.
It's a nice
Yeah.
name. Very, very calm. Very calming. Do you need to be calm very often?
My dad's a furbolg. It's his shop.
That sounds interesting. What's it like
Bye.
having a monster as a father?
Furbolgs. Fuck you.
You turn, you begin to leave, and he's like, Takes out a piece of paper, and you hear him just go,
I don't care if that's part of the personality test.
fuck off.
She
makes
flips
his way
him off as she walks off.
Makes his way into the hold, and after a few seconds, just closes the door, staring at you.
Yep. Back to the family home.
You return to the family home, where as you enter in, you have no idea if you passed or failed, but you felt really fucking good about that.
She's just sweating when she gets to the family home. Just angry a little bit.
Did you run the whole way there to get your anger out?
Uh,
Are you sweating?
oh no, she probably took a carriage back to the family home from there. How much did that cost?
The carriage to return would be, I believe it was 5 silver. You all gather together, and before you stands Lavos. His beard is somewhat shorn. See, it's a bit thinner, but it comes down to like this broad point. And as he leans in, he's wearing like this just top hat that he seems to have procured. He's wearing a matching suit vest, and he sits down in these
You?
pinstripe pants.
You left something out yesterday.
What was that?
And Vincent will undo his shirt a little bit and put his thing down so you can see the back of his neck. I gained a title.
When?
He'll just point to it. I don't know, but I'm assuming it was sometime on our journeys. Maybe in the dungeon. I think you just missed it.
Oh, I don't miss anything that happens with your bond. But it was a little bit strange how your bond kind of hesitated. Congratulations. It's just a little bit weird. Shadow Walker. Interesting. He places his hand on your shoulder and just begins to take in the information. Right.
Does it tell you anything about it? Like how I got it, when I got it? Or is it simply just that it's called that?
It does not. Some titles are well documented, and with the pathways towards them somewhat known. But others are a mystery. It's something that I could investigate, but I doubt that there's much information on titles in general.
It's fine. I don't want you wasting your time on something like that.
Places his hand on your shoulder again and says, whatever it means, it's yours. Now,
What's with the hat?
I like this hat.
Okay.
You kids nowadays don't know fashion. Tilted to the side.
How
There's
was
a few
everyone's
things.
little R&R session yesterday? What did you do? If you don't mind me asking.
I drank poison.
I know you went down to Matilda's apothecary, her pom-pom, I think she calls it. Is there any reason why you thought to partake in some of the supply?
Well, it was
Payment was due.
as a favor.
Hmm.
I don't think it worked. It just tasted bad.
It wasn't poison that was going to kill them, don't worry. It was just
Well-
to cause mild discomfort.
To each
You
his own,
don't-
I guess, if you agreed
yeah.
to this, Killian.
Well, you don't always want your enemies to die outright. Sometimes you want them to suffer a little bit before. So there's poisons for that too.
Sometimes indigestion is the best substitute.
You see a
But I
look on
did-
Lavos' face that just screams, Lavos will remember this.
But I did get the name of a potential apothecary I can investigate. They're in the Anvil District, the Silent Shrieker.
Hmm.
Apparently there's a big gnome that works there, named Julian. Pom Pom suggested that if I want to really get some details out of him, I should just show up as like a regular goblin looking for work.
That might work.
Yeah. Not much other than that, though.
Okay. There wasn't too much happening yesterday. Got a couple extra clientele at work, and I was able to locate that individual in Motar's district.
You went into Motors District?
Yeah, I mentioned that yesterday, didn't I?
I thought you just said that you were going on a thing. I don't think you mentioned much.
Oh, well. I got what I needed to get done. So,
And in one piece.
That's not common for people who go into Motors District, so.
it wasn't. I can understand why people would be adverse to that place, but sometimes things aren't always as they seem.
I ate my thing. Killian saw me do it.
How did it taste?
Like feathers.
I will also say one thing. Vincent, you are charged for the gold cost of a horse, as when you return, you do not have one. If you want entry into the city, you can either attempt to magically persuade, or do whatever have you say, or pay the cost of a riding horse, which is 75 gold pieces.
Oh!
Kind of knew that when he let the horse go over.
Oh my god, that's so much money!
Do you think Vincent would have known that coming through?
As soon as the horse went over the side of the river.
I mean, as he approached the walls with the guards, do you think he would have known that they would have asked for the horse back, like going by the stables?
Oh yeah, for sure. By the stables, yeah.
You could disguise yourself so they don't know it's you.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just wondering if I want the bad rap. It's not like I feel like I am going to be going out there quite a bit, so I'll pay it.
Okay.
I don't want to have to be hassled with the gods every time.
Paid in full.
Is there any way I can try and the stable master, wherever they are, try to sugar up them a bit so they can lower the price? Maybe let them know the horse was on.
Your horse sucked and it almost killed me.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Did your
Or
horse
deception, depending on how much you're trying to lie to them.
Did your horse walk into a river? You might be entitled to compensation.
25.
For having you.
Uncle Lawyer?
Yeah.
Send me a spellogram now if you.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it up like it was mostly the horse's fault. It ran off.
But it was.
Freaked out.
You're not even lying.
It's very true. Your horse has shitty wisdom saves, is what you should tell him. As you, let's say, with a 25 persuasion, you bring that down to 50 gold.
Okay.
And they don't charge you for the bridle. But as you guys return, we cycle back and you recall this information, and you guys continue talking about how your morning went, or how your evening went.
What is plan for today?
Oh, DM, did Matilda wake up feeling any different after her jaunt?
You didn't, but you did. You did. No, I don't think you did.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, what do we want to tackle? Do we want to tackle? I guess it's the same thing: the missing persons and the Fury cult, right?
Do we have any leads on where to go for that, or is it more just studying the book?
That's where Lavos comes in, and he flicks his hat and tips it off, and you can see that's why he had the hat on in the first place. That's right. Now then, Paka. And Paka strides forward, also wearing a nice suit, and he says,
"Your research, sir."
"Thank you." Paka grabs it with pinky out.
You guys did this board? Because I can find some entertainers for you.
Oh well, that's fine. Takes off the hat and places it down. Places the book, the loose papers down, and flips it open. And he's like, I did a little bit of digging. Now, I asked Morrigan to help me in this, and she gathered a little bit of information, but for the most part, I went out into other districts and began to look a bit for myself. It does get difficult when dealing with other districts, because as a god, you typically know when someone's within your territory, if they are of a certain divine rank or higher. I thought I might be below the notice of Shantir, but some people approached me relatively quickly. Now, I left there with a positive attitude, chatted a little bit, got a bit of information. It seems that with the people who have gone missing, which a lot of which were in Demeter's territory, actually quite a few. Now, the situation here was that there was some kind of a farming forum, right? Some kind of like a, come and look at our beautiful cider. We have so much and plenty. Come and look at all the things we have that you don't. Now, there was an open forum in discussions about the latest farming techniques. A lot of the people who have gone missing seemed to have visited that very forum. Now, the interesting thing about that is it happens daily. That's not exactly something that seems to be so ingrained that it needs daily conversations. So this drew my attention. I think it would be interesting if we go visit that open talk.
Yes.
A seminar.
That's the fucking word as we're looking for. Thank you.
How much do any of you guys know about agriculture?
A little bit. All of my clutchmates and I grew up on a ranch. But I wasn't good at it.
I don't know much about agriculture. I know about small-scale horticulture. Because Pom Pom does poisons, so sometimes it's helpful to know where to find them, how to gather them, and also how to grow them.
Aside from small planting when I was younger, we didn't have much, so a small greenhouse outside the back helped to feed us here and there. I wouldn't say I particularly like digging in the dirt.
Is this forum or seminar, is it in Shanti's district or is it in Demeter's district?
That is where you come in. And he points over towards Vincent's shoulder, where this faint fog lifts and you see this imp holding two pieces of paper who strides forward and throws them down on the ground. He says,
I managed to take a few things from this Woodholm, and here they are.
He spreads them open.
People seemed to be pining over these, so I thought it would be fun to take it from them. You should have seen them. Where is my paper? Where is my paper? Oh, this was fun.
What was he referring to?
Woodholm, from when you were in Shiana's, you told him he was allowed to steal some things, so long as it did not endanger. So he took some paper, because that didn't seem overly worthwhile. But he has a map of the Aborian Valley, which involves various different travel routes throughout, many of which go towards Helianth, Dianthus, and along the Aborian Trail. So a large chunk of the center of this continent mapped out, which in and of itself is incredibly valuable. And the other map, as he flips it open, is a detailed map of Amaranth that sits before you. Each district laid out and cut into sections showing the dividing lines of property in the jurisdictions of each god.
Ooh, good work, Mo.
Typically people pay me with money when I do good work.
Puts a hand out.
You hear clinking of dishes and then some sort of not quite a blender, but someone whisking really fastly and smashing, and then you just see a smoothie float out from the kitchen.
Awesome.
And it goes over in front of Mo.
Paka just stares at it as it passes by, and it reaches Mo, and Paka's like, ugh. Mo just grabs it.
Your smoothie, dear.
Just half of it pours over the face, the rest goes down the wings, and just
Oh, good lord.
Mo
It was
then
a
like
straw, but,
almost like a cat, you see him stop, face covered in smoothie, and just like almost this instinctual thing takes over, and he just flies off to the corner of the room, perches, and holds onto his smoothie as though you guys were gonna take it, and then just begins once again to like. And Mo seems fully satisfied with this exchange. He points towards, and Demeter's district's rather small, you see. Not a lot of influence, but in the coalition of the gods that work under Shantia, this is what we have. And he scrolls up on the map, and he says, the forum itself is taking place at a small... usually, these things take place over here, right near the Silvery Moon Tower, LaRue's home. But this one seems to be taking place in a bit of a remote farmhouse along a small patch of land. And, I mean, this is just suspicious as fuck. I don't know what else to say about it. I don't trust it for a goddamn second. This is the lead. This is going to lead us somewhere.
Do you think Morrigan's brother was into agriculture? Like, why?
It didn't seem the type by what she was talking about him.
Well, to be fair, I mean, a lot of people in agriculture, like, they work really hard. Technology, especially the kind that would be available to the Silverleafs, Damon forgets, and Killian also might forget. Sorry?
The silver cog, you mean?
Silver cog. Yeah. Might, like, that, the silver cogs, they could really revolutionize agriculture by using machinery and inventions.
It's also a really good way to use cheap labor to test out your inventions.
It's good. I like this spitting out of ideas. It might also be that the gods want more mortals. I'll come back to you. I'll get one. I'll add it in. But anyway, keep spitballing. I got this.
I assume the gods always want more mortals. That's kind of like.
To capture them for baby making? What are you talking
But
about?
I don't think in this. I'm not agreeing with you, Lavos. I'm just saying that general statement is true. In your context, it might not be quite what you think it is.
Well, I have a question. Are there any gods that would not want Mistress family to do the weird thing with the inventions that she's talking about in the Silver Cog? Like, is that, like, are there some gods that are trying to stop that from happening?
Well, I have a friend who's been working he's a member of Gon's family, and there's technology and magic doesn't always mix. Sometimes they disagree on how something should work.
Shondakul is the god of transportation in the city, and he controls a lot of the transportation. I would say that maybe he has a hand in some kind of underhanded work against Gond and Mistra, but he's one of the lead purchasers of their technology, so there might be something to look into there. That's a good way to spend my time. But I know that if I go into Shantia's home again, I'm likely going to draw attention.
I think
I have
we've
to lead
already
this
done
mission
that.
to you. Well, that's true, but if we want to catch these people unawares, and they are indeed here, having a god show up on their doorstep and several more in pursuit is probably not the way to do it.
I want to ask a quick question. Does the name Jovanus ring any bells to anybody?
No.
No, afraid not.
Jovanus? No? Okay, cool. Thanks.
He writes that down.
So we'll also take his book out and jot down a couple notes. Not necessarily in regards to that, but just in general. Close it, put it back in his coat. So should we head out? What's the plan?
I was gonna ask maybe if we want our I guess he's not like with the Shantia family, but Jaeger has a sway within there, but he's too recognizable. He wouldn't be someone we won't bring.
Isn't he gone?
Did he actually leave yet? He said he was going to set up
He
a
was, at
meeting
least
with our family in Melora.
the last time I spoke to him, he seemed pretty eager. I asked him to try and just have a plan, maybe wait a couple days, but who knows if he actually listened.
I think his brain's full of flowers. I don't think he listened.
Well, he's a demigod. I'm sure he can take care of himself.
Family mission. Infiltrate this strange grouping of people. Figure out whether it has any kind of connection to this cult. And, I mean, my radar's going off like mad. And whatever it is that's behind all this, let's dig into it, shall we?
Okay.
All right. Now, I have a little bit of a reward for you all for doing so well. I happen to have access to a lad who can get me some first level spell scrolls for free. If anybody wants a spell scroll apiece, I can get you one by this afternoon.
Just one.
One first level a pop.
Are these the so-called universal ones I've heard so much about, or is this
It's only the best for my family. I'm going to be putting a few in reserve as well within the top there, but I'm going to be taking those.
Maybe you had to spell magic, do you? Help us get into the study.
I believe that's third, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't mean right now, but if he ever increases his stock, that one is one we should have on the list regardless.
This is the beginning of a very fruitful friendship, I think, with these people, so I don't see that being an impossibility in the future. But right now, we're limited to first. Have a think on it. Send me the information via the sending stone. I can get it to you right split. And for now, he stands. He shores up his clothing.
Lava.
Right.
I wasn't able to go do this yesterday, slipped to my mind. But I am in need of a spell component. Would you be able to quickly jot down there and grab it for me? I can give you the gold for it, but I know you move faster than I do.
Right, I can do that. What are you looking for?
It could just be a bag of incense worth 300 gold. Some really nice ones. But it'd be more interesting if it involves some sort of devilish effigy with it. I was thinking maybe hop down to Pom Pom shop. See if he has anything. If you don't want to deal with him, that's fine, but I can't think of any other shop in the district that would sell something like that.
It's his fingers just like tap, 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 tapping like mad. No, I can do it for you. I said I would do it.
Like Vincent turns to, Mo, you don't have any friends in the city that would sell things like that, would you?
Mama Mel might have something more up that alley if you're looking for something more demonically, devilishly kind of thing.
It'd be specifically devils. Do you think she deals in them?
She might know someone that does, or she might have something that's from them because I think she would love to piss them off. She's the kind of person that gives no fucks. She's great.
But Vincent will always ask Mo as well because he said he had friends in the city.
Mo has finished his glass and is kind of perched in the corner, licking the last bits from the back of it. And he placed it down and flies over, face covered, and just like
Vincent will
dried,
prestidigitation.
fades away.
I was going to finish that later, but that's fine. I can make you a devilish effigy if you like.
It has to be worth a certain amount. 300 gold.
Lavos like grabs Mo and just places him on his shoulder and is like, we'll get it done. Don't worry.
When can you get it done by? I'm going to need it sooner rather than later.
I'll tell you what, I'll meet you lot in the, at the entry to the Bounties farm thing. This grouping of people. I'm going to meet you right here at the edge of this bridge.
How long do we
say you should enter Shantia's?
Right, actually, you're right. I should meet you here, shouldn't I? I don't want... Well, it's not Shantir necessarily. I don't want Demeter to notice me. So I'm going to be meeting you right on the other side. That was a good call. Thank you.
What was that, Jojo?
I was just wondering if perhaps someone wants to take the ringlets, maybe disguise self if how long we're gonna be there. It's gonna be longer than an hour.
I assume the seminar's going to take longer than that.
It might not be a problem then, since they seem to be capturing people of all sorts. So
That's what I thought. I don't necessarily think we need to waste our magic on this.
Okay.
Keep it, just in case we need it later. But Vincent will go over and divvy out 300 gold and have it handed over to Lavos. A lot of money, so make sure you get me one that's my style. Well, he'll look towards Mo specifically.
You can feed 100 families for a month with this money. It is a lot of money, and it's being spent on incense. I'm very proud of you lot. And he turns and begins to make his way out. Mo's on his shoulder and is just like, don't think this makes us friends. Lavos is like, oh, lad, you know nothing about me. It's like, that doesn't answer my question. And then the door closes, you hear their voices just disappear, and Mo's just like, where the fuck did he go? And you hear Lavos open the door again, and he's like, right, yeah, fuck, I guess I'm walking. Places Mo on his shoulder and just begins to make his way down the road. You are left to your lonesome within the family home. You can hear Elora kind of meandering about the second floor, looking around.
I don't know how I feel about her being home alone, but she's used to it. I'm sure
I'm
she'll be
here.
okay. Oh, that's right, Parker. I keep forgetting. Aren't you going to come with us?
Yeah. Unless I'm here.
I guess the Lizlets are here. Do you think they can keep Elora company?
Company, yes. Safe. Yes.
Good. That's the correct answer.
I could leave Bladebeak here. I think it would stick out like a sore thumb in a farming community.
yeah.
You should put skin on it.
Oh,
Then it's
please.
just a normal big chicken.
No,
Okay,
that's not
we'll
good.
work on that, Parker. It
I
could be an
like
art
spooky
project
things,
later.
and that makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it.
For someone who deals in dead bodies, I figured this wouldn't phase you until then.
No, but it's like, it's metal, and then you put skin on it, and then I'm used to bones and sinew and like
That's your
blood.
problem
Yes.
with it.
I guess to each his own. They're kind of similar in my mind, but
Excellent. So, do you guys leave the manor and head on towards district, or do you do anything else on
Should we
this?
go to the
fine
Shrieking
day?
Shack first?
Oh, it's on the way. I guess we could.
yeah,
Yeah.
we could head to there first. You get a quick beat on the situation. Once you're in, Killian, you're going to say you're looking for work? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, and she like pulls down like the sleeve on her arm that has the ash bond. She's like, you don't think anyone will recognize me, right?
If we don't bring Bladebeak, no.
Okay.
Maybe just switch out of your normal apron into
That's a good
something
idea.
a little bit more suited for the apothecary.
Okay, I'll on our way there, let's stop by my house and I'll
Okay.
change.
Okay.
We should probably cover our bonds, right? Especially for you, Vincent.
They look so pretty.
Yeah, they're gorgeous, but you should cover them up.
I already did. As Matilda shows the gloves she wears all the time. Her leather gloves.
All right, let me go grab a sweater.
All right. As we are getting ready to go, Killian says, Vincent, at some point when you have some time, can you teach me how to invest in my shop?
Sure.
I have more gold than I know what to do with, and honestly, I'm out of my element.
Well, this actually brings up a thing. I was thinking of heading down to the bank soon. I'm looking in to take out a loan. I think the first thing you need to do is open a bank account if you don't have one already.
Does that cost money?
No, not really. Actually, Adrian, I don't think it costs money, right? It just costs the one
Yeah,
gold
you
for the
just-
signet ring.
Yeah, and then you just put the well, you get like a seal and you get like a book, and then basically you have to put a certain amount of gold in to prove that you're like a member of the bank, and then that's about it, I think.
It's not too much. It's like
It's
a
not
gold for the
you have
signet
more than
ring.
enough.
Are there monthly bank fees? Like how
No.
into this are we getting?
Depending on your interest rate as well, it can get really
Yeah.
no, we're good on that front.
Okay.
Past that, I think it's just a matter of you can go through the bank, let them know that you wish to invest into this property. They can look into it. And they'll take your money, and it usually doesn't take too long, maybe a week or two, to get things more up and snuff. Magic kind of moves things along pretty fast. So
Okay. I guess my second question is, do you think I should have a shop in the city, or should I just start building up here? I know
This
it won't get as
is-
much foot traffic, but
I don't think you'll get any, to be honest. At least not right now. Maybe in years to come, but I would recommend you keeping it it's in the Anvil district, right? Based
ish.
on what I've seen you work on, it's the best place to sell things for you.
Okay.
You can always build the workshop out of here later on and have distributes.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be my plan down the road. She goes upstairs and then she comes back down the stairs dragging a bag with 600 gold pieces in it. And that
Yeah,
is-
just give that to Paka.
Oh, yeah. It gives him the handle because she can't like lift it onto him.
Just
Paka,
buries his nose in there
that
and
one's
just begins
not
to look
for
into
you to
it.
swim in, okay? Keep the
Oh.
the top of the bag tied shut.
Tosses it on the top of his stuff and just begins to prep. As you guys head out from Old Town, carriage,
Yes.
Yes?
pay me money. Moving into the Anvil, Jojo, roll history to see if you are aware of where this place might be.
Also, Vincent's swapped out his normal shirt. He's wearing like a high collar, like what do they call those? Turtlenecks.
Can we get like a carriage compass card or something? Like, is there, like so we don't have to constantly like pay.
That's exactly what subscription services is. You pay once and never again. I know I love paying my $12,000 for my one monthly.
Age, can you re-import my character? For some reason, the spells are wrong, and it says all my spell slots are used.
Nice. I re-imported them earlier, but I'll do it again.
I had a 15. Jojo's probably been there like once or twice with Arjun, like her
I
cousin.
think you've likely passed by. It is immediately available, and then like went in and quickly purchased like just something. They have some brief herbalism and they're mostly alchemical tinctures, but there's some that are just like, place this on your muscles and it'll grow 5 times the size, and it's never once worked, but it's just because it's your problem, it doesn't work for you. Kind of thing. But as you approach the outer area of the Anvil, pretty much right at the entrance to the district along a large stone bridge, you guys in your carriage just, you hear that just faint. You hit the bridge and it begins to bubble up and over, and you look out over the waterways of Amaranth, and eventually you stop pretty much on the other side of the bridge, and looking out over this just small district of various different shops. You can smell spices, and there's little markets going on all over the place. You begin to approach. You actually see there's a lot of half-orcs moving around the district, but you see there's a lot of people in some very impressive-looking gear, and quite a few adventurers, divers that sit kind of nestled into this corner of these districts. As you begin to approach the Silent Shrieker Alchemist, which is right here, nestled in a little corner along the main thoroughfare of Hephaestus's district in the Anvil, rapping on the front door, you open it up and enter in, and it's very sparsely lit. By the interior, only the windows letting light in from the two corners. You find on the other side for the first time, maybe ever, just a normal person and a normal shop owner who's just a like half orc standing, nice suit, approaches. Hey, what can I get for you? Welcome to the Silent Shrieker. And this is actually, as you guys enter in, this is a good chance to take a break. You find yourselves at the Silent Shrieker Alchemist, pushing your way into the front room as this half orc welcomes you warmly. Staring over towards you, he's got this kind of just like thinning hair on the side that just falls down around the side of his head. Sitting at a like stark age, you can see some gray in the side of his head and some stubble around the outer edge of his face. Still standing with this massive bulk and heft, but holding like glass instruments as he places them down and begins to move forward. Anything you like specifically? We have tinctures. We got salves, some that have just come in recently. Wait, you're the Calamity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a couple of your fights recently. You've been kicking some ass.
Yeah.
Got your ass beat a couple times too, but one
Yeah.
way or the other, it's a good fight.
I'll probably be back there soon.
This might interest you, and he pulls out a small vial, and he's just like, just a little bit of oil. Simple, but really makes you glisten, you know?
You mean for a show?
Yeah, it's a performance.
Vincent walks over and inspects it. What quality of oil is this?
Roll. What would that be? The creation of oil is... Do you have proficiency in alchemy tools?
No, but he's probably done a lot of massages for oil with oils before.
I would say just roll a general intelligence check.
I have a feeling that some of the sore losers at the pit would say this is cheating, but I'll think about it.
Oh, for like grapples?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
15.
Well, I'll tell you what. You're gonna look so good, though. That sunlight really hits.
I'll look good when I beat him to the ground, fair and square.
Yeah, that's true. The oil itself is actually quite good, quite high quality. As you pop open the top of the flask and just take a quick sniff, it smells like lilac.
Here, dear, and he'll pass him his card. Get in contact with Rose at the Black Sheep. She might actually hook you up. This is pretty good stuff.
Can do. Puts the card away. All right. It's coming
Matilda,
along.
like scanning. Does this apothecary look like it's worth anything? Like, is it any good? You mean like,
I do like to think it's just, if people could hear the sound effects of Matilda, they would always be very like just disturbing the scene. Someone's like, "Hey, how you doing? How are you?" And just hear in the background. Go ahead and roll. I would give you proficiency with woodcarver's tools, but I know you don't got that. Roll a general intelligence check as well, or maybe
Okay.
wisdom. Let's do wisdom.
okay. I just love the idea of like, it's just like Windows startup, like dial-up voices.
Like a scanner getting ready to scan something.
And it's really making me laugh. Sorry. Hold on. Whew. Okay, I'm just doing a check.
Just
Can I
straight
guide
wisdom.
myself?
Yeah, for sure.
1, 2, 4.
As you begin to cast a spell, the individual's like, "Oh, hey, wait, let's..." Oh, never mind. Seems to recognize it. 12, looking around. I mean, it's a fine-looking shop. It's small, but it's very meticulously taken care of. The person here seems to take a lot of pride in their home. And they, yeah, if you need anything, I'm 10 feet that way. Feel
name?
free to peruse. Sorry?
What's your name?
Oh, you want my name, Calamity? I don't got anything cool like that. But if you want to meet me in the future, name's Carlos.
Cool.
I don't got a cool nickname. My name's probably
yet.
cool alone.
In the back of your head, Killian, you'll just hear like Vincent whisper to you, "Are you gonna go ask?"
Killian is just kind of like once more hands wringing at like the shirt that she borrowed from a different goblin. She like mussed up her hair before she got out of the carriage, so it's just kind of like just long hair all over the place. And she kind of like is startled by you talking in her head. Are you using message, or is this your new thing?
My infernal voice? Yes, it's my new thing.
Okay.
You might
She-
interpret as message. I'm not quite. It probably sounds similar.
She just says I guess I didn't. This isn't the person I was looking for. Sure. And she kind of goes between some of the aisles, just kind of wandering around, but finally pulls up in front of the counter where Karos is standing.
How can I help you, my friend?
I am looking for work.
Is your throat okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right. Do you have any experience?
I can prove it to you if you like.
Sure. He places down a small alchemy kit. Make me just a base oil.
Right. This is a proficiency tools plus int.
Indeed.
Okay.
He leans in and almost just watching your work is just oil is the base of a lot of the work of what we do here. So it's good to get a solid base in what we're doing before moving to anything else. And then with just a mastery of the tool set themselves, you begin to get to work. You get about 15 to 20 seconds in as you begin to just look through the individual pieces, and you're just this is probably the best one I have for here. And you pop open a cork, and he just stops you, and he's like, I can already see you're good. Tell you what. And he looks around at the rest of the party, and he's like, come back maybe this afternoon, this evening, and we can go through maybe a more proper test. I have an associate who does a bit more of the training, so that's something that we can get into a little bit deeper. You're going to pop by just shortly after closing, and go ahead and knock on the back door. You're going to be asking for... And then he gives you the name of his associate, of which I'm scrolling to find.
Julian.
Is it
Yeah.
Julian?
Julian with a Y. He says, make sure you pronounce the Y heavily. Julian.
Julian.
Yeah, you got it.
Thank you.
All right.
And
This is
she just-
this is the beginning of a beautiful work-life relationship.
Yep.
You got any health potions?
Health potions. We have some base herbalism. We don't get too many in. We have about 4 regular available right now. Getting some greater in within the next few days.
How much are
but-
those regular?
We have a partner over on the other side of the anvil here. You can head to them if you want more. The regular are roll a charisma check. You have advantage here because you are a local celebrity.
Oh, am I?
It seems.
I'd laugh if they mentioned Matilda's work. They're like, our partner is this place. And Matilda's like, shit, I work there.
It's a 14 charisma check.
Looking towards, they offer you, it seems like a small discount. It says, I could give you one of them 56 gold. So for all 4 comes out to 224. But I'll give you 220 if you buy all 4.
You guys want to pitch in for that? Or,
Sorry, how much is he saying that a potion of just a normal potion?
A regular potion of healing, he's saying he'd sell for 56 gold.
How much does that compare to the one? Vincent's been buying them for around 50, right?
No, you've been buying them for around 62.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually better. And JoJo's asking if we want to all go in on it.
I don't have enough for all 4 of them. I can get a few, but if we want to get all 4.
Well, there's other places in the city we can get them later. This isn't limited stock. However, I'm fine going in on it as long as this is the family's potions.
I'm happy to go in on them. I'm usually the one that takes them because I fall down a lot. So
Who are these going to be on you, Jojo, or should we just pile a park up with them?
Yeah, we can give him Paco. I just figured we should get some.
Paca's been waiting outside due to the fact that he saw like a lot of colorful dressed people moving about, and he kind of was just like,
I'll be out here for a minute.
and just began to follow them, stopped, didn't get too far, turned around, saw more people, and just like sidled up next to them.
If you guys don't want to go in, I can get 2 on my own.
I can give 100 gold.
How much was it that you said for all 4?
220 something.
220 even.
Okay, I'll do the 120 if you do the 100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Excellent. You hand over this sum of money, and he kind of takes it, brings it into a back room, and leaves you guys alone for like a minute before returning. What are a lot of your names? I could see that some of you are bound. Are you a party?
What?
Yeah, we're the Deviants.
The Deviants. I'm gonna keep my ear to the ground.
Vincent will go over and extend a hand. Vincent Goldwater.
He shakes your hand, and he's just like, interesting name. Never mind.
Of the Goldwater
Stupid question.
family?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
No shit. Interesting.
Dearie, do you happen to have any potions of comprehension?
Comprehension. Mostly deal in oils, poisons, or not poison, like pesticides rather themselves. Right up next to Shantia, so it's rather useful. But let me take a look at our stocks. 2 actually, if you're interested.
How much are there?
Let me go ahead and
He'll smile at the guy. He's trying to butter him up a little bit.
roll persuasion. You've also used name drop, I believe, yes?
I will as well, yeah.
Alrighty.
I've technically did that. I think that's just in Vincent's nature to want to do that. 17.
17? He looks at it, he says, these are typically a little bit more expensive than the potions of healing, but I tell you what, I'll give it to you for, say, 75, even. And judging by your knowledge of this potion in other locations, that's a pretty good deal. You're looking at probably like 30 gold pieces off.
75 each or for both of them?
75 for one.
Okay. He'll do
You want
it.
to buy both? I'll do 135. I like these bulk sales.
You take check?
Yeah, promissory notes, absolutely.
Vincent will write them. 1.
Just like pull it out, hand it towards him. He takes it, gives a nod, kind of like pulls out his own stamp and hits the top of it, flips the stamp around, places it around back, hands you the 2 potions. There you go.
Okay. Quick question. I guess I'll just minus this from the stuff.
But as you guys find yourselves here within the Silent Shrieker, Killian, having kind of accomplished this little goal, do you guys kind of move around from here to another spot, or did you want to maintain this scene for a bit?
Killian, when he comes back out from the back and is like, "Oh, are you a group? Like, what are your names?" Killian actually just says, "My name's Talca, and I'm not with them," and just like walks out the door.
Says, okay. He doesn't seem to like recognize the name. He's just like, "Oh, you're not? Okay, I thought you were all together. My mistake." You turn and you begin to leave. As you do, the guy turns towards you guys and is just like, "Is that not Killian? I've been hearing rumors about a goblin purchasing up a large amount of metal during the drought."
Jojo, in an attempt to like show not give Killian away, is just turned towards a wall, trying not to laugh.
Roll
I think
sleight of
Vincent
face.
Vincent will like try to distract because he knows some of his other party members aren't really that strong in this regard. Who?
Killian, also roll deception.
It's a straight 17, but probably a -1 charisma for sleight of face.
Killian's not with us today. She would have brought Bladebeak with her.
Okay. And with Vincent's
I will if I said this and then Matilda said that, we're contradicting each other now, so we have fucked up.
It's okay. I rolled a 3 deception. If he's heard of me, he probably knows it's me.
I think he just turns towards the lot of you guys and taking in these kind of like just mixed signals is just like, tell you what, I don't know what's going on. Not my place. Shouldn't have asked in the first place. Tell you what, I'm gonna hold on to this. Holds up the card. He says, Black Sheep, right? Rosa.
Yes, yeah.
All right, I will check into that. Thank you very much for coming by the Silent Shrieker.
Yeah,
Hope
we'll
to see you
be
again.
back for potions another time, probably.
Hope so. Think about the oil.
I'll think about it.
Thank
Vincent
you.
will just gesture at him and walk out.
I'm Matilda, by the way.
Pleasure to meet you. I am still Carlos.
I figured I didn't get a chance to introduce myself either, so that's usually the protocol. You don't have to introduce yourself a second time. That's not how it usually goes. And Matilda leaves.
I'll remember that. And as you all reconvene outside, Killian, you probably didn't hear him be like, "Isn't that Killian?"
Nope. But as soon as she left and she gets like a whiff of like the fresh air from outside, she just like really quickly like runs around the building and pukes. Just a little bit.
Oh, Killian.
Paka circles and it's just like tap 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 on your back.
Thanks,
So you-
Paka.
As you come back after Vincent and the rest of the group, I guess, are waiting outside.
Yeah, Paka.
And he'll-
Jojo hands the potions to Paka.
Sorry. Go ahead, Bianca.
The Killian dear.
Yeah.
He'll say it like lightly, so like the dude outside. Like, we're off of it a little bit. You might not need to hide yourself on this one. You seem to be decent people.
Okay.
Plus, you look a little green. You might do
Yeah.
better not doing that.
It's just, I need to get used to it.
That's true. You can always train.
Being lying.
What?
Sorry?
Oh, you were saying get used to it. And I was like, which one? Lying to people or getting used to being recognized?
He recognized me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess I need to get better at lying. And get used to it.
You also take a look across the pond and you spot your home from where you're currently standing on the other side of the bridge, and you're just like, this is pretty close to home.
Well,
So maybe you won't be recognized too far.
let's go meet old Papa. And then head over into Shanti's district.
Hopefully we're not recognized there.
What does that mean? That's sus.
No, Vincent's just being
reach.
like, he can't help the fact that people would know who he is.
Yeah.
That's what that laugh meant.
Matilda understood that. She's like, yeah, Vincent gets around. Like,
Yeah, and
he
he also
probably knows.
thinks he thinks he's the shit, so it would surprise him if people didn't recognize him.
Making your way out towards the dappled road, you find once again the guard kind of happily and openly pop open the gates before you. Immigration coming and going, but as always, divers gain priority. Moving through, just gazed at like some kind of god celebrities on the exterior of the walls,
What?
moving through with
Really?
purpose. All of these travelers that are looking upon you all are commoners. As they glance towards you, they are seeing the families of gods striding before them. You guys are heroes or villains or monsters or angels among these people. And you see that written on the face of every just random person you pass by.
Aren't our marks all covered, though?
Yeah, I was gonna say we're all covered.
We
As
just
soon
look-
as you breach the gates, they're just like names, like tags. If you guys are
Oh.
like, yeah, here's our tags, we're going through, we don't want to spend 4 hours in queue, then
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
open the gates, everyone moves aside. It's pretty hard to hide that one.
Cool.
As you guys move through the district, passing around it's very vertical, lots of stone walls and stone staircases, and as you pass up and down and down and down and down through the patties and the various different little farms that are placed around everyone's homes, eventually you find your way to that long drawbridge, or long rope bridge that leads to the other side from Demeter's district over into LaRue's district. I'm probably pronouncing that one terribly. But as you reach the other side, you spot a still very well-dressed Lavos kind of sitting back, just eyes closed, taking in the sunlight, sitting off on the little bench in the corner.
Vincent walks over, enjoying the sun.
Oh, I am, in fact, enjoying the sun. It's nice to meet you. Who are you?
Care if I take a seat? Vincent catches on immediately.
Of course, please, sit. Let us regale each other with tales.
On the back of his head, he's like, why are you doing this?
I don't know what you...
Oh, right, this is telepathic. I just didn't really want to be noticed. I felt like being a little bit older today.
Out in the open. So what brings you around these parts, old man?
I just thought that I would stretch my wings and offer my services to young people who might happen by. Here, I tell you what, for offering me this companionship,
And he pulls out a small bag, a small scroll case, and hands it over to you.
this is for you, just a gift.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Oh, excellent. Well, you will find within the contents just a little bit of a gift from me to you. And tell you what, anything else you would like to know, young man? I have extensive history with the world around me.
You wouldn't happen to know who my soulmate is destined to be, would you?
Delilah.
He'll take her out of his book and jot it down like he's being serious. I will search the heavens and hells for this person. Thank you.
Well, if that's the case, then that degree of personal goal might just pursue someone named Delilah to fall for you aggressively, so I might be right.
Are we
Vincent will
all
get up
supposed
and-
to be using fake names right now?
Did you come over and like lean down to Vincent?
Yeah.
I
him
don't know
enjoy
what
this.
you're talking about.
My name's Callie.
It's nice to meet you, Callie. My name's... Shit. Hector.
Hector. Okay.
Usually the first thing you go to, do you? Start with the name and work backwards.
I know.
He stands. He's like,
Well then, whatever, if you don't need anything else, I'll be going.
I'll look around and I'm going to try to telepathy to see if Mo's in the area.
you just hear,
Yes, master.
You have to stay with me. Stay invisible.
This is the first time you've done this to me. It feels like home. My
Get used to
mind
it.
is like an open book.
He doesn't respond to that.
he just sits there and you can almost feel this connection remain open, and he's just like,
Nothing.
Lasts for a minute.
An empty open book.
yeah, just no thoughts, but every now and then you just feel malice.
No thoughts, head empty.
Yeah.
Vincent will
Hashtag.
stand up. He's going to look down at the things. He got a bag and a small box.
Scrolls.
You're given a scroll case.
Okay, he'll open it. What's in it?
It is the scrolls of the first level spells that you had requested.
What were they?
You tell me.
I still need to think of mine, but I did want to scroll, if that's okay. And then I
Totally
can
cool.
just-
Hand them out. I
Jojo.
would prob-
You go ahead.
I was just say mine will probably be Find Familiar. I think I'll settle on.
Totally okay. You find one fine familiar scroll in the case.
Vincent's gonna look in the little bag.
Uh,
What's in there?
just to clarify, Matilda's spell scroll will be mildly ambiguous as we take a gander through. But as she takes the spell scroll in hand, pops it open, looks at it, she's like, "Oh yeah, that's that spell I wanted." And you roll up the scroll, and you have that, and it's great. If needed, it will be a fairy fire. And you pop open the bag. In the bag is 4 bow ties.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Vincent will take them out and look at them. Is it just supposed to be a gag?
You look at them; they're silken. They seem to be relatively quality. They meet your standards of clothing, although it is a bow tie, which is tacky.
Mm-hmm. Is there anything else in the bag?
Nope, just 4 bow ties.
I tie the bow tie around my hair, like around my bun in the back. So
As you like tighten it and you feel the fabric rub against fabric and you form it into this very adorable bow, you see this faint glimmer of energy.
Might want to identify these. Kill.
I'm assuming maybe some sort of way for him to track us. It's getting a little bit overprotective as of late.
Yeah. I'll take mine and I'll just kind of like go behind the bench that you guys are sitting at and kind of like hunker down in like the grass and pull out my tools and the pearl and scan the object.
You guys see a small contingency of guards wearing this like kind of pale green medium armor that are moving through with hide and these tabards of a side-facing unicorn that is currently rearing. And as they pass by, someone's just like, "You see something in those bushes over there?" The other guy looks and he's just like, "Don't say it." And he's like, "Whatever it is, not as beautiful as your eyes." And he's like, "For fuck's sakes." And then they both continue on past the way. Hit the drawbridge. They kind of give a salute to you guys as they pass by and move in.
Yep. Hey, it's so cute.
Some LaRue grasslanders. That's cute as hell.
Vincent is heavily tempted, but he'll let it go.
Killian, the 11 minutes pass without any issue, and you identify the bow. This bow is enchanted. It in and of itself is not a magic item, but it does contain an enchantment upon it. If you are subjective to a saving throw, one-time use, you can use this bow to choose to... No. You can't choose to succeed. However, succeed or fail, the other person who is currently, like, the person who is casting the spell perceives it as being a failed saving throw.
Oh.
And then the magic is gone.
Ooh, so like you could use this on a zone of truth to make it seem like you failed and then lie. Nice.
You see these, the inside of the bag contains nothing other than these bow ties. It's like the bag itself is like burlap, looks like nothing special. The bow ties themselves seem very elegant. And Matilda, go ahead.
Oh, also I like the idea that if I ever go unconscious, you can find me with this bow tie.
Yeah, Vincent he's not gonna put it on like in the area of a proper bow tie. He'll probably just eccentric. What doesn't feel like a tacky place to put a bow tie?
You could put it like you do a garter on your thigh.
I think JoJo's gonna wear it like a choker. Like she's gonna undo the bow tie and like wrap it around and like sort of like tie it in a knot in the back.
That's what I was thinking. He'll undo it and he'll just make like a ribbon bracelet out of it.
I picture Killian wearing it as a belt.
I was considering it like putting it on as a belt.
Yeah,
But
I
think
really.
I'll do that.
Yeah, I like that idea. What colors are they respectively?
They are all the same kind of pinstripe black.
Oh, how very Nightmare of Christmas of you. All right.
Like my
and
shirt?
Vincent's, as he looks at these, you don't think dear Papa ripped me off, did you?
Hit rip you off how?
Hold on a second. And in his head, he's just like, Mo, do you have my item I asked for?
Do you want to clarify unless it's a secret?
It was the 300 gold item, the reason that Lavo said he'd meet us here.
There was the incense
Yes.
and the demon effigy.
No,
the
I'm
devil.
sorry.
Devil effigy.
That slipped my mind. That's basically why I was like, does anybody else have anything else that you want from me before I leave? No, that would also be in, I think it's actually jammed in the bottom of the scroll case to make things creepier. As you look at the bottom of the scroll case, there's a little like extra little bit at the base there. And when you look in, you see this just, first off, you hear, oh, as you look down it, and you can just feel these burning eyes on the interior. And Mo's sitting there tenting his fingers. You feel that malice begin to grow before the telepathy goes out.
Do I actually hear this emanating from it, or are you?
You thematically hear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear it.
I thought Mo was doing that in the mental link, and I was going to be
Oh,
like,
that'd be so good. Yes. Yes.
Retcon. You hear it in the mental link.
it blimps out, and he's just like, ugh. So
Every single time you open the scroll case, Mo just goes,
Ooh.
"Oh."
So he looks at it. What does it look like?
You pop it open. It is looks very similar to Mo in some ways. But as it's
He
just
did,
this,
he did specifically tell Mo to make sure it was to Vincent's tastes.
it looks, I mean, a fiendish effigy. It's very difficult to match Vincent's tastes, but as it stands, there's like a twisted torso that leads down into this just almost T-like shape at the top that bends out and around and then comes down. But at the base of it, you can see this just black kind of pendant that sits almost like a rough-hewn onyx. And as you kind of like grab it and you begin to look at it, the top just comes off and you have this just individual onyx pendant, and you're like, it doesn't look demonic. It doesn't look like any kind of effigy, but as you bring it up to the light, you see this just form within the interior of it that seems to just bend like a silhouette through this just solid black stone.
That's Mama Mal for you.
Looks pretty fucking cool, actually. But you see this top portion that's basically just an imp holding onto it in this top torso. That is not a necessary part, but was Mo's addition.
Vincent, is there a chain on it?
It looks like it can be held with a chain, but there is no chain attached to it.
Okay.
I have chains at home, Vincent, because I make my own jewelry. And I point to my really creepy looking bird skull earring.
Oh, I have plenty, dear. That's not an issue.
Oh.
Paka says, I have gold string.
Why do you have a gold string, dear?
Why don't you have gold string?
Actually, I have some chains on one of my outfits in there. Paco, do you want to pass me them?
Hands it to you.
He'll makeshift it into that, and he's gonna make it so that the gold chain is like wrapped around the imp's neck and then nicely attached to the pendant.
I see. Not a purveyor of the arts, I can tell.
No,
I pictured you as being
cool.
cultured, but well, hang the imp, it's fine. I'm not offended by that.
It's not. It's sorry. Let me clarify. It's not like a hang noose. It's just to like hold it all in place.
Yeah.
It's a collar.
Sure it is.
Yeah, a collar would be more in line.
I am honored.
That's it.
Vincent starts walking. Is that it? There's no incense, just the pendant.
No, the incense are in there as well.
Are we gonna?
What had
go
been
into this
requested
thing?
was capable of being retrieved with who Lavos currently has connections with.
We gonna go into this thing separately, or?
I think that's probably best.
It'll be easier. Do we want to give each other like names or introduce each other like we don't know each other?
Just don't talk to me. I can't pretend that we don't know each other.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, maybe just be more of like, I'm just here to survey the area and don't talk to much people. You're gonna have difficulties with that.
Yeah, I think if we just walk in and don't talk. I mean, I'm Melody, so that's my name.
Okay. Bye. You're gonna walk away.
I like how you
Starts
choose the
running
name
along.
Malady. That's fun.
Vincent will go.
Okay. So you guys are going to the event together apart. Excellent.
Jojo is gonna go down the southern route and go up from the south.
Yeah, Vincent will
Masseuse?
start heading. Oh wait, that's the wrong direction. He'll start heading. He'll head the opposite way from Jojo. He'll head in from this direction.
I just go at the direction that's the most direct, but I will take my time and do the Matilda way of walking, where I look for dead things. Do I find anything cool? Any herbs? Is anything that it stopped? Here's my fancy cool rocks. Whatever.
Go ahead and roll nature.
In an attempt to make herself look less like her, she's gonna pull her hair, her locks out of her ponytail and just let them hang down. Be like, most people can't tell half orcs apart, so this is probably good enough.
May
Well,
I roll
when-
guidance?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And enforce that spark of the divine into your movements. Also, if you change a character's hairstyle in any form of anime, they're a different person. So that's how we're gonna go with this one. Matilda, natural 20 for a 24. As you are glancing around, you manage to find a rock that looks suspiciously like a skull. And as you lean down to pick it up, you're like, ooh, this is probably a skull. It's not a rock at all. It's actually just a normal skull, but it's actually a rock that looks suspiciously like a skull. And that's fun. But you also managed to find 25 gold pieces worth of herbalism materials.
Okay.
As you glance around, Demeter's district and the Shantius district, the Bounty, is just rife with life. And as you you manage to bring yourself down to the riverside and kind of overlook this area of the farm, and that is where you manage to kind of scoop up this material. Good nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
As Vincent's walking down as well, just thinking about things, he really doesn't want to have to disguise his beautiful face, but I think it's for the best. And he'll kind of go in behind a tree and uses innate disguise self from himself, using his cloak to kind of cover up if anyone wants to look in on his disguise. His cloak will be real first, and then he'll also, just before he's finished, cast awe and run his fingers through his hair.
Moving through, it's quite rural here, so you do manage to find some areas in which spellcasting would not be noticed. And following through, you cast these spells upon yourself, making your way around and kind of circling around to the same area. Jojo, by the time Vincent hits the same area, you've kind of already made it forward. Matilda, having taken a little bit of a detour, rounding around, you just enter into the area. And Killian, what did you do at the beginning of your travel?
Well, Killian is still kind of just generally looking disheveled from her
Disguise.
In air quotes, disguise at the alchemist. So she's just gonna go ahead and she was already hiding behind the bench. She's just gonna roll around in the grass and just get as filthy as possible before making her way into the area.
I think in that case, you are likely among the first. And as you arrive, Jojo, you see Killian has already arrived at this kind of forum. Vincent, having taken the longest route, are basically just rounding the area. And Killian, as you begin to approach, you can see there are a lot of people here, several bound, as far as you can tell, these kind of artisans who are moving through. But this massive 3-story farmhouse that connects into this barn off to the side, and the entire outer area has been set up with tents, with people selling different wares and some imports and some stuff that had been brought in from the farms, and small competitions off to the side for the best ciders. And then there's pigs in a pen that are being held and judged. As you begin to move into this just small, almost fair-like area, you do see a board standing off to the side with just details of everything that's currently going on, various different competitions, and the prizes this year, upwards of 2,000 gold pieces for some of the and contracts with various different distributors. But in that little board, you do spot apple cider. Apple cider. What's the word that I'm looking for?
Vinegar?
No. Standard apple cider. But, apple cider production seminar. And then it says 3 times per day, every day. And you're sitting there just wondering, how is there that much to talk about for apple cider? But there it is. It is inset. The next time that it is going to be popping up is within... What time did you guys get here? You have a grand total of 35 minutes before the next seminar takes place.
How long does it say the seminar is?
Seminar is 1 hour long.
Okay. Vincent, when he walks up, if he reads that, he will note that the time that he thinks he needs to re-up his disguise self, he'll step away from the seminar briefly and re-up it if he needs to. But we'll have to see if anything happens before then.
You all arrive here, and you spot this small fair taking place. People everywhere, and having no general knowledge of where to go, what to do, how to accomplish it. You guys see before you the task of uncovering any secrets that might be here. As you glance through the area, and you find the life of it, both juxtaposed against the seriousness of why you're here, but also somewhat refreshing in the excitement of these people that surround you. That is where we will end today's session. Looking out about this fun little rural farm fair. We will see you all next time. Thank you for coming to the Dragonleaf, and until next time,
Wave.
bye everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.